Yeah.
right? So that's very important, and I think we have kind of gone away from that important part of the history. I also just think millennials and Gen Zs are not seeing candidates that align with
Hmm.
their core values, right? Why would I vote for somebody who doesn't have the same interests, wants, needs, or desires as
Hmm.
me, right? And nobody's really taking that space in the political
Hmm.
sphere, right? For the Virgin Islanders, it's typically males above
Hmm.
45, 50 years older who are running for these elected positions, right? And that kind of creates that disconnect where, again, why should I vote for somebody if I'm going to vote for them? They're not going
Hmm.
to even address my core needs. Right?
Hmm.
I'd rather not vote, or I'd rather just vote for the people that I kind of like, that, might not even necessarily affect my life, but just because I have some type of knowledge of them, I think they have done something good previously, right? So
Yes.
again, thus giving millennials more options, Gen Zers more options that look similar to them, and also candidates just really not just saying that they care, but actually
Hmm.
showing that they care and doing the things that's necessary that would combat the issues that the Gen Zers and the millennials are currently facing in the Virgin Islands currently.
I agree 100% on that. For those who don't know, I served on the Legislative Youth Advisory Council. I was the chairperson during the 34th legislature. We went through an interesting journey to even be able to meet and be able to discuss things. And so the priorities of youth representation in the government, I'm going to be quite frank, it's not there. And that's why a lot of times you see young people are not even interested because the people who represent them in government doesn't even look like them. We might have the same skin color, but age wise we don't look the same, and so the priorities are not the same. But one thing I'm gonna just continue telling young people is you have to vote. And you have to come out in numbers, because in politics it's all about numbers. I know it sucks, but it's the truth. It's about numbers. If you don't show up, they're not going to take your priorities seriously unless you have someone who's outspoken in your generation that's willing to put themselves up for service and be able to represent you. If not, you're not going to get your priorities accomplished, and you can't really expect them to, because they're not from your generation, even though that's what they should be doing. It's just they have different experiences, and we can't realistically expect someone who is 65 years old to understand what a 21-year-old is going through in 2024 and the priorities that that person has. So and this is not just something happening locally, but this is happening nationally as well. They had the two top candidates who were running for president just a couple months ago, Joe Biden and Trump, who are 80, 81 and 78. So there was no real new policies or new ideas that were being brought to the table, because these gentlemen are older. And then you just recently had Kamala Harris, who just turned 60. So yeah, she was a new light of fresh air, but she's not that far from them either. So it was no real young person really trying to take the mantle. And I think that's just nationally what's happening. Young people are not being interested because they don't feel valued, they don't feel appreciated, they don't feel their priorities are being met. And that's something that we're going to have to